Sense from the congressman from Youngstown, Ohio, who is standing by with Chris Matthews. Chris?
Thank you. I'm here with Tim Ryan. You know, I sense that you can tell who's going down in the polls, and Bernie's been going down for a while. He was really sort of zealous tonight. My question to you, as you pointed out, these are fantastic economics these people are talking about, and you want to talk about kitchen table stuff. The United States Senate, we got Lawrence O'Donnell, former staff director of the Finance Committee with us as a colleague. You have to get 60 votes for any real programmatic change. And your colleagues are talking about this big stuff. You know, a whole new health care program for the whole country. I would wonder what they're thinking about in terms of who's going to pass that stuff.
Well, that's why I think we've got to find these issues that we can all agree on. Manufacturing, as I talked about tonight, it's supported by 80% of the American people. So get a chief manufacturing officer, dominate these industries. We're not having a big discussion about climate. We're talking about manufacturing. And then I brought up the agriculture piece. That's supported by Republicans and libertarian farmers who don't even think climate change is man-made, but they want the carbon in the soil. Move on that. Let's find these issues that we can move on.
What do you think your people that you want to vote for you in Ohio, northeastern Ohio, and place like that, when they hear the Democrats not only are not really going to push for real border enforcement, but they're going to decriminalize it? What is the reaction going to be?
It's not a good one. I mean, it's not a good one. People are open-hearted. They're okay with people coming in. They're okay with asylum seekers. But if you're just going to walk into the country and it's not going to be any penalty at all, criminal penalty at all, it doesn't fly. And then the next step was free health care for undocumented workers. And I said, look, they can pay for health care too, but how do you tell someone in Ohio that someone else is getting free health care as an undocumented worker, and oh, by the way, you're busting your rear end every single day to pay for your family's health care?
Why do you think the people running against you think of something like free health care the minute you cross the border illegally? Why would they think of something like that?
I don't know. I don't know.
When there's so many people that are not covered now.
I don't know. I can't explain it. And it's a disconnect.
Is there an ideological difference between you as a regular unhyphenated Democrat and Bernie, for example? Is there a real ideological difference?
I think on some of these issues there are. Like, I'm for government doing positive things too, but you can't take someone's private insurance away from them. As I explained, there's union members who negotiated these contracts and said, we're not going to get these wages, but we'll take it in our health care.
Right now, everybody pays into Medicare under the law, or else you go to jail, right?
Yeah.
For the time you have your first job at 15 to your 65, you pay in for 50 years. And if you live longer than that, you get coverage, right?
Yeah.
The Bernie plan is you get that for a whole life without a tax increase.
Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't admit to a tax increase. How's that work?
Well, here's no tax increase, no co-pays, no premiums. It's like, look, I support everybody having health care. I took the lumps with Obamacare. I supported a public option with Obamacare. But we've got to find something that's going to get enough votes in the Senate to actually move the needle.
He throws in free dental, free eyeglasses, and everything for life, right? And pays off all student debt. Is that what you meant by fantastic economics tonight? Well,
it's $40 trillion over the next 10 years. Trillion with a T. And we've got $1 trillion annual deficit. We've got to be smart about this. We've got to move the ball down the field. I'm as aspirational as the next person, but you got to get 60 votes in the Senate for the vast majority.
I think it was a great debate tonight. I think the Democrats really debated tonight between center and left, and it was very healthy to hear that debate. Thank you.
Thanks,
because
Chris.
of you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Take care.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.